The Myford University podcast, episode 40. We're going to talk about the 90-day sprint, effectively the 60-day challenge closed out yesterday. I'm excited about this one. Welcome back, colleagues, to Myford University podcast. I'm George Sloan, founder and dean of Myford University, and today's episode is special. It's not just another concept or framework. It's a milestone. I basically closed out a 60-day sprint or challenge yesterday. It goes on top of the 30-day one that I had done initially. And this 90 days, we had very big goals. It was a bold sprint, and we moved with a full surge. And now we're shifting into the next phase where we're going to scale up some more and spread some stuff out. So I want to take you behind the scenes of what we've done, what we've learned, and what's coming next. Because this is not about content creation, it's about proving a point. The point is that accelerated practical education can be built and delivered with speed, clarity, and impact. So grab a notebook, because along the way I'll share some lessons with you that you can use in your own projects, your own businesses, or your own personal development. And again, you don't need to go the traditional higher education route. We've got a solution here. So let's go back and talk about that original 30-day sprint. About 90 days ago, I drew a line in the sand and I launched a 30-day challenge. And the idea was to publish 26 core concepts in 30 days. I wanted to catch up and do, half a year's worth of publishing. What actually happened? Well, I crushed it. I went past that goal. I dropped 30 in 30 days. Why push so hard? Well, honestly, because it was overdue. I've been talking about Myford University, at least to myself, for over a year. I've been building the tools, the frameworks, the content, and quietly doing it in the background. I hadn't planted the flag, and I let other priorities get in the way. I own that. So that first sprint was about reclaiming momentum, and it was about proving to myself and to anyone watching that execution matters more than ideas. Talk is cheap, and shipping is everything. And boy, did we ship. It worked. The sprint established Myford University to show people what it is, what we stand for, and what we are here to challenge. And that's the traditional path of higher education, which can best be described as bloated, outdated, overpriced models that they'll have you believe are still relevant in today's world. I disagree. There are a number of alternative solutions, and Myford University is going to be one of them. So we put forth our vision to become the number one global alternative to traditional higher education, MBA, and PhD programs. We set out our mission to deliver practical, accelerated, no bullshit learning that actually moves the needle. And we defined our core values: application over accumulation, speed as a superpower, and results as the only report card. And finally, ownership as everything. So in 30 days, the flag was planted. So then we moved into the 60-day surge. But again, when that sprint ended, I didn't stop. I rolled right into doing another 60-day challenge. The goal this time wasn't just to prove that we could ship. It was to build the ecosystem, to create the engine that can carry Myford University forward. So here's what happened. We published a grand total, building on the original 30. We published a grand total of 40 core concepts, and each one was supported by a blog post, a newsletter, a podcast episode, and a video podcast. That's a full pipeline of long-form and short-form content working together. About 35 days ago, on YouTube, we built out a real presence with over 40 of the long-form videos. There's a couple others that are thrown in there, and nearly 60 shorts. And these shorts weren't just left on YouTube. They were repurposed for TikTok, Instagram, X, and Facebook. We were very busy publishing all of these. So the podcast was also syndicated through Buzzsprout and Apple Podcasts, making it easier for listeners to plug in wherever they already are. Additionally, we launched a Printify store, which I haven't really promoted. You'll see more of that coming this weekend with the first wave of Myford University merchandise. Again, a lot of it fun and tongue-in-cheek. And it's just the beginning. There's going to be quite a bit of interesting things put in that. And most importantly, we did the reps. Consistency becomes a habit, and publishing just wasn't optional. It was a standard. And I also, when I say do the reps, I wanted to get better quickly because, as I always say, it's one thing to learn it. It's another thing to apply it, and you should apply it immediately. Now, was it perfect? Nope. I had planned to roll these out. I also planned to roll out some free and paid content and to launch a community space. That didn't happen. But I don't consider that a failure. I consider it a strategic pivot. I wanted to put more attention on the other components, and I wanted to be a little more patient because this other stuff is coming, and we'll talk about that later. So by focusing on the foundation first, I was able to set the stage for those products and communities to succeed when they do launch. They won't stumble out of the gate, they'll scale. So what the surge actually proved were three things. Execution beats intention. It's not about what you plan, it's about what you ship. 2, foundation comes first. People now know exactly what Myford University is. And of course, momentum is a moat. Once you get rolling, it compounds. So, let's talk about the next 30 days. I'm going to look at this as a scale-up period. So, I'm happy with what we did in the first 90. And I'm excited with what I'm about to do in the next 30. So here's what's next. Tomorrow, I'm going to kick off a brand new 30-day challenge. And this one is about scale. I'm going to be taking the proof and foundation we've built and turning it into products, community, and compounding results. Here's a roadmap of where we're headed. We're still going to do one core concept per week. The cadence doesn't change. It'll be a blog, newsletter, podcast, video. We keep the rhythm tight and reliable. We're also going to start dropping free weekly resources, at least one actionable tool each week, whether it's a template, a checklist, or framework that you can put to work immediately. Actually, there's going to be something even more interesting that I'm going to be coming out with probably next week. Also, tomorrow, I'm going to start dropping on LinkedIn. I'm going to be putting together a 10-day sprint there. This is going to be a concentrated push to find where professionals already are. I would hope that you'll check it out. I would expect punchy, practical content that brings our message to a new audience. Basically, I'm going to get them all caught up with what you guys have already seen. Also, I'm going to continue doing daily short videos. I'm going to try to do one a day at least. And it will probably continue to show up on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, and Facebook. Again, the reps continue, and the reach will expand. And there's going to be a surprise drop. I kind of hinted at this before. Something new, something bold, and it'll be announced later in the 30-day window. Stay tuned. I'm pushing to get it next week, folks. So the question to be asking at this point is, why keep pushing? Because higher education is broken. It's bloated, it's slow, it's overpriced, and it is not aligned with the realities of the modern world. Again, it's fantasy land. You're spending too much time not doing something. The world has changed. So Myford University exists to flip the model. We're going to replace credentials with capabilities. We're going to replace theory with application. And we're going to replace excuses with execution. In the first 30 days, we planted the flag. In the next 60, we built the foundation. And now, in the next 30, we're going to start scaling up. Look, folks, if you still believe that traditional higher education is the answer, by all means, go for it. But if you can get the skills quick, many of them free, some of them at a tremendously discounted price compared to higher education, you're probably better off because, again, you can keep on working and you can apply it. And whether you're looking for a raise, a promotion, a new job, you'll be able to find a path to that. Whether you're looking to take your small business and apply some principles that will help you get a rein on your expenses or get your revenues and profits to go up, there will be roadmaps for that as well. If you're thinking of doing something entrepreneurial, yet again, another possible roadmap to success through some of these programs. Additionally, I'm going to be talking about some of the alternatives. I really am a big fan of Mike Rowe, and I'm a big fan of Cody Sanchez. I'll be doing probably an individual concept on each of them in the coming weeks. I firmly believe that there are other alternatives, not just the traditional approach. I even have what I'm going to consider a controversial article coming out. I'm going to probably do it sooner than later because it's very timely. That's going to tie AI and higher education together. All right. So if you've been with us since the beginning of the first challenge, thank you. Your support, means more to me than you know. And if you're new here, obviously, welcome. I also always say, don't keep us a secret. Tell other people. Okay? There are already 40 plus concepts across the blog, the newsletter, the podcast, and the video. By all means, dive in, comment, like them. Let me know if you have ones that you're interested in that you want to see in the future. I'm trying to build out a content list. I've got at least a year's worth of articles already lined up. I'm trying to put them out in the right order, but it gets a little crazy. So any help you can provide, telling me, which direction, I probably already have something set up for that. Now, if you're ready to accelerate your own career, your business, your personal growth, consider doing it with us. The next 30 days are built for you. So until next time, I'm George Sloan, founder and dean of Myford University. I want to thank you for listening, and let's build something better. Check out myforduniversity.com where you can learn it fast and apply it faster. We will see you the next time. Thank you.